Right, well, this is Grace Jones by Guy Portelli, who's a good friend of ours, and we've put on many exhibitions together. In fact, Guy is going to be coming along to help us with our exhibition at the Ornamental Dairy up at Luton Hoo, which coincidentally is where we live. So hopefully Guy will be able to tell you a bit more about his work and what he might be bringing along for us. And this piece, Rocking Chair Blues, which is John Lee Hooker, has been in the gallery for a while now, and we've had loads of people coming in commenting on this guy. They're loving it, and what people don't realise is that actually bends around like a spine, and I think that's still the straight backs. They don't realise that the chair legs are on the wrong sides, because immediately they think it is a rocking chair or something, and then when they've had a chance to look around, they start spotting all these things, and people say, why hasn't it got top to the hat and things, and what's it made of, and is it solid?
Well, this has always been an interesting thing with this piece, because people look at it and say, is the chair with a man, or is it a man as a chair?
Right.
You know, it's sort of like that interaction. But actually, when you think of the John Lee Hooker sitting on the armchair, they do become one and the same.
Right.
You know, it is that whole thing that I try to capture within it. But then people start to notice the shoes and the shoelaces.
Did he make that, or is that a live cast?
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, I sacrificed a very nice pair of shoes.
Did you? Good,
in order
good,
to
good,
do
good.
it. Because you can't sculpt that sort of reality, although that's sort of the years and years of wear. You know, you can't sculpt that.
Right.
Whereas it's much easier just to take a leather shoe and take a mould from it, and it adds another dimension to the surrealism, really.
And what I've noticed here is all your other pop icons aren't portraits, are they? Not formal, lifelike, naturalistic portraits. Whereas that, if you go on YouTube and look at him, that looks like it. You know, forget this, you would still recognise that as John Lee Hooker, just from the flips.
We were very lucky with John Lee Hooker in particular, because he's got such strong characteristics.
Yeah.
You know, he always wears the dark glasses and the hat, and you know, sometimes there's a lot to sort of tie into with a person, and other times there isn't. You know, sometimes the identity of the person is bigger than them physically, but with something like John Lee Hooker, physically he is a fascinating looking person, you know, and he's actually sort of grown into the role of the blues player.
Dragon's Den, the exhibition.
Yeah, this is where the money was spent.
This is where it was spent.
And you know, 30 years ago I started this project, and it's taken all this time to find a way of getting it into the marketplace, getting the publicity for it, getting the funding.
So why these people? Why Frank Sinatra? Why
Miles
Davis?
I've chosen people who've changed the identity of music.
Right.
You know, they were pivotal in a change of playing, and that to me was quite important. Plus also trying to get 6 decades and getting a balance between male and female and American and English, because really if you look at that collection, it starts with America, then it moves to London in the late 60s, 70s, then it moves back to America again. So it's trying to get that balance, and when you're looking at doing a whole collection, you can actually say, well, I'm going to start here and finish there, and then work out where. So we started with Frank Sinatra, we ended with Amy Winehouse. John Lee Hooker is a sort of the second piece. So Frank Sinatra was the first, then John Lee Hooker and Miles Davis. So it actually punctuates 6 decades. And
so out of your 18 pieces, this must be one of the most expensive, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's not the most expensive.
So this is how
because it's a sort of middle-sized piece. This one is around £40,000 mark.
Right.
But we're only making 3, and the first one we sold to the Porsche family. So, you know, we keep, with special pieces, we keep the limits, we keep production down.
This one will be at
this is
coming exhibition,
coming to Luton
and you'll be bringing other pieces along?
And we'll be backing it up with other pieces.
Excellent.
So we just need to work out what we're going to bring. And
with about another 5 sculptors, we're going to have artwork in the garden now, table sculptures indoors, and 10 or so painters. So it's all coming together, isn't it?
Event.
It's a major event.
God
willing, we'll be ready in time.
It's a major event.
Go. So we've known each other for 10, 12 years or something like that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, Dragon's Den. Do you think that was a major turning point in your career?
Well, certainly. I mean, you only do this once in your life, and if it works, you know, suddenly you're one of the most famous sculptors in the country. So, in terms of TV coverage and people stopping you in the street, and also the demand for your work, and it works on all fronts. I mean, the BBC is a tremendously valuable asset, and to have them behind you, pushing your career forward, just been filming the Isle of Wight Festival.
I remember we were sitting outside a restaurant somewhere in London shortly after you were on, and it was weird because people were walking past, weren't they? Recognise him, recognise. They all thought you were that blind Italian opera singer, mind you, but eventually they twigged, geez, on Dragon's Den. It's good.
Well, I've always had one of those faces that people think I'm somebody else.
Well,
so actually now it's quite interesting that people actually think I'm me.
Yeah.
Which is so finally my image has caught up with me.
Your 3 dragons that you went with in the end were?
Theo, Peter and James.
But you were offered more money by somebody else, you took less money for more people.
Well, Duncan wanted a 1-to-1,
right?
But I realised the benefit of really having 3, and it's a tremendously powerful image. You got 3 dragons standing next to your sculpture, supporting what you do. So I think it was the right choice. But of course, one never knows what would have happened had I sort of gone with Duncan.
And they're still into you for a proportion of this whole suite of sculptures, or
this is an ongoing project,
right?
That until we sell the 100 sculptures, we are tied in. So sales have been pretty good this last year, but it means that we could roll it out for the next 4 or 5 years. So it's ongoing.
Pop icon sculptures.
Pop icons.
Other work you produce is independent and yours.
Yes, I mean outside of that collection, we are working with pop stars at the moment. I mean, what's changed is that I'm now dealing directly with famous people who want their portraits done. So that's a totally different thing for me. It has certain other limitations, but also certain advantages as well. We spoke about Luton Hoo. How's that progressing?
Well, hopefully it's nearly done. Heritage Open Days, English Heritage Open Days. The walled garden up there is open to the public, so that's a good opportunity for people to go.
Yeah.
I've piggybacked on the back of this with this Ornamental Dairy exhibition.
Yeah.
It's free. I'm just thinking people will turn up, walk around the gardens and look upon ours as another nice thing to do at the time, so there's no charges to come in. We've got about 16 artists. All work seems to be in hand.
Yeah,
so God willing.
A variety of sculpture and painting.
Yeah.
And the building itself is so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
The building is
because we're in the churnery, the dairy, the dairy house, the lawns outside the front, the tea room we can't go in because the architects have said it's not sound yet, but we can unwrap that so you'll be able to see it, which is a lovely building in itself.
And these buildings are used quite a lot with TV, aren't they? I mean,
in that dairy we've had Burke and Hare, BBC Bleak House or something. Yeah. Burke and Hare, which was a comedy thing. We've had Madonna up there. Last exhibition's on Friday the 10th, Saturday the 11th, Sunday the 12th of September. Yeah, to coincide with those English Heritage Open Days, and it's from 11 o'clock in the morning to 4:30. Free entry, all welcome.
Sounds great.
Be there.
I'll be there.